that is a temporary measure. Even diet is a temporary measure. The lifestyle change is a temporary measure. All I need is to have a surgery so that they deal with that hiatus hernia that is posing a serious danger of having gut cancer. So finally, the final one, Your Worship, they made a finding that and this is actually, it's not a finding, Lukwago should continue with his current treatment for hypertension. No doubt I'm a known case of hypertension. For the last 10 years I've been on medication, and this problem gets worse with all these complications, the cocktail of these health challenges. In the end, they complicate the issue of hypertension. So now it may be now relatively contained because of the suppressive mechanisms we are using to deal with these other complications. And the cardiologists have also advised, if I continue with this sleeping posture to contain the issue of GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease or gastritis, then it affects blood saturation. I will have again to raise my legs up so that as I sleep, so that blood flows, to ease blood saturation. Now you can imagine, I have all these problems with the gastroenterologists who are part of this team are advising me to have this particular sleeping posture with the head leaning up. The neurosurgeons are advising me to sleep on an orthopedic mattress which is hard and lie a little flat, not raising myself. Cardiologists, Mr. Mungoma and others are advising me to raise the legs up. Then meanwhile, the pulmonologist, that is Professor Rodri and the team, they are advising me to keep in a well-ventilated place. Yet you know the conditions of the prisons. The prisons are not well-ventilated. So in a nutshell, Your Worship, I am sentenced to death. I am condemned to death. If no rescue is made to get my situation addressed as advised by the consultants from Lago, it's a death sentence for me. And all I can say to Allah, if you have to take me, my Lord, the God who created me, kindly take me without a lot of pain. If I may make a last prayer, Your Worship, instead of taking me through all this pain, I be put on some palliative care so that I die a less painful death. Otherwise the pain is too much. I know I will die. I know all of us will die, but I wouldn't want to die a painful death. I beg to pray.
Embeera yeeyo bannange eyali Lord Mayor Salongo Elias Lukwago gy'alimu mu kaseera kano era nga mwewuliriddeko obulumi bwalimu bungi era nga mu byonna yeetaaga obujjanjabi. Agambye yakkiriza nti okufa kwa butonde era ajja kutuuka afe essaawa yonna wabula tewali kijja muluma ng'okufa n'afiira mu bulumi bwalimu mu kaseera kano. Wavudde n'asabira bekikwatako babeere nga bamuleka oba bamukkiriza agende abeere nga afuna eddagala mu nsi ez'ebweru, oluvannyuma akomewo abeere nga avunaanibwa emisango gyonna gye bamuvunaana mu kaseera kano, wabula bamukkiriza afune eddagala abeere nga avunaanibwa nga mulamu okusinga bw'anaateekebwa mu kkomera n'aba nga avunaanibwa ng'ate n'obulumi bwalimu mu kaseera kano bungi oba bunene. Ono agambye atawanyizibwa ekirwadde ekirwadde kya ania era nga kyetaagira ddala surgery ey'amangu ddala. Ekirwadde eky'abasajja be basinga nnyo okukitegeera kitawanya nnyo abasajja, so n'olwekyo asabye abeere ng'aweebwa akakisa okuba ng'agenda okuba nga afuna obujjanjabi. Wano nno Sseggona avuddeyo n'ayogera ku nsonga ezo zonna naye Amaziga gamuyiseemu because who does this? Kale kambawe Sseggona namwe mbeere nga mwewulirako n'emboozi ya Lukwago ekyagenda ddala mu maaso gy'abadde nayo mu kooti.
Their recommendation after that finding that Lukwago should have a spinal review by his primary spine surgeons in India to re-evaluate him for the persistent upper limbs radicularitis, it's a medical term, that they were unable to repeat the MRI investigations because they were not certain of the compatibility of the implants, the artificial disc that were used for his primary spine surgery and MRI scans. So the point here is, when they conducted an anterior cervical dissectomy with a disc replacement at C6 here, the nerve root at the spinal cord, there was an implant, an artificial disc which was inserted here. And when I went to Mulago, after conducting the investigation, they did a CT scan, they discovered there were attendant issues which had complicated this situation and required further examination and urgent attention by the neurologists and neurosurgeons who conducted the surgery in India, and that is immediate, it's urgent. So I was put on some kind of therapeutic treatment. They gave me pregabalin, at least to contain the excruciating pain I am undergoing, I am facing. That excruciating pain is being mitigated by the use of some medication, part of which is pregabalin, and of course some scraps like fofastum and others. That is the second one, Your Worship.
That is not it.
The third one, Your Worship. Yes?
I said that is not it.
I was saying that one requires immediate evacuation to India, and I should be in India by now. I need to be in India now. If my life is to be saved, others have been condemned to death. And there is a limit, Your Worship, to using of these neurotherapeutic whatever medicines like pregabalin. I interchange with the gabapentin. Your Worship, I was also diagnosed with persistent anomasia and tinnitus, which occasioned eustachian tube dysfunction, ETD, as well as Meniere's disease and olfactory dysfunction. Your Worship, the EMT recommended that they made a finding, if you could listen to this.
Well, Your Honor, my purpose of persuading court to listen to the accused himself was that you have that in mind as you adjourn. But because the prosecution said they have a submission, I'm prepared to listen.
journey formation. Status investigations that they are ongoing. And therefore, in light of the fact that the sitting magistrate has made a decision on the matter, and that the inquiries are still ongoing, we seek further action in the future.
Worship, we have no liberty to comment on this, the prayer for adjournment. Kiriyo era kyovudde olaba nga akugamba nti akkiriza okufa naye yandyagadde bamuwe eddagala afe bulungi aleke kufa mu bulumi. Kiri painful naye tujja kukiyitamu kubanga bwe luba lutalo nga terunaggwa tosuula ngabo kubanga wosuulira engabo olukoma. Twandibadde tusobola okuwummula ne tuluwummuza singa munnaffe abadde bweru naye ng'ali munda tetujja kuwummula. Famire n'abalala tubasabira. Omulamuzi abadde tasobola nakuwa biragiro ku ppiro y'omusajja bano gye baayuzaayoza ne bagisokoolamu ebyuma bye batasobola kuzzaawo kati naye ng'ate eri medical recommended bagitumya Bungereza nga ne bino tebinnabaawo. Omuntu ayinza ogaba bagitumiza kati sobola kuketta biri mu makomera. Ab'amakomera tolowooza nti bandibadde basoboka kwebuuza naddala ng'otandikira ku ye nga tonnaba kuyuza piro ya musajja yeemuwa ku tulo kati teyeebakira ddala. Owulidde kyamukisa mubi nti omuntu alina obulwadde obufaanana bwe butyo ate teyeebaka. Mu buteebaka oyongera okulinnyisa obulwadde bwe. Alina operations 3 ezirindiridde. Operation y'okutereeza ebyuma bino bye bakyamya nga bamukozesa dduyiro obulumi bungi. Operation y'okumussaamu ebyuma ebirala wansi mu lamba joints. Operation eya wano hiatus hernia gwe balina okulongoosa bwalwawo afuuka cancer of the esophagus. Tegamba kama bakonga
Omulamuzi ayongeddeyo omusango
agwongeddeyo kyekyoka kyabadde asobola okukola. Weero batugambye nkyajja kubaamu olwaliro atasobodde kubaamu. Tumusabira bw'abanga obutabaawo kiva ku bulwadde Mukama amujjanjabe asobole okudda amangu enkyakole.